कोर्स हिजो हामीले चाहिँ नि तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ रेट एनालाइसिसको गरेको हो नि
हो सर रेट एनालाइसिस
कहाँसम्म पुगेको अरे ब्रिक वर्क सकेको हो
आज स्टोन मेसनरी वाला प्री वर्क गरेको
है हिजो अब त्यो कसरी चाहिँ नि मेटेरियल क्यालकुलेट गर्ने भन्नेदेखि लिएर सबै गरेको छ त्यहाँ राम्रो हेर है राम्रो विचार गर अरू त सब ठिकै छ लेट मी सेयर माई डेस्कटप टु यु अल Yesterday we did a rate analysis for the brick masonry work. Brick masonry work. We analyze how to calculate the quantity of the bricks required for the work, and its rate analysis. For the machine-made brick, you can use in the similar way. Instead of providing the size of the brick of local brick, you can use the size of Chinese brick or machine-made brick as follows, and do the procedure in the same way. The proportion may be different for the cement and mortar, 1:3, 1:4, 1:6. Anyway, this proportion is used to find the quantity of the mortar. As I have already told you about how to calculate the quantity of the mortar, you must provide some percentage of the weight mortar for the dry volume of the mortar. Generally, we take 50 to 55% weight volume to be increased for the dry volume of the mortar. And after finding the dry volume of mortar, and that is division by the total proportion, you will get the quantity of cement and sand respectively. In the similar manner, do yourself. In the remark column, the number of labors are same for other proportions also. The skilled manpower is 1.5 and unskilled is 2.2. It is same for other proportions. But for the scaffolding, for the erection of the scaffolding, you should add 0.20 numbers of labors for ground floor. You should add 0.20 numbers of labor for ground floor in this estimate. I have not mentioned here because 2.2 number, and you must provide another 0.2 number of unskilled manpower here for the ground floor if the story is of ground floor story. Now if for the first floor story the unskilled labor will be 2.2 plus 0.7. For the first story, the unskilled labor will be, the skilled manpower is same, unskilled labor will be 2.2 plus 0.7. For second story, again you can add the unskilled manpower as 2.2 plus 2 into 0.7. For the second story, unskilled manpower will be 2.2 plus 2 into 0.7. And this value is added here. But in exam, you can do in the similar way. I haven't mentioned the 0.20 number for the ground floor here because it is for scaffolding. This is the 3% of labor cost is used for the scaffolding material only. 0.20 number is added for the erection of the scaffolding. This is the remarks. Conclusion is this. For the second story, the erection of the scaffolding is 0.70 number, which is more in comparison to the ground floor. Because this lever is also used for the carrying the materials as well, from the ground level to the upper floor. There is the person needed to carry the bricks, carry the sand, carry the cement, as well as the carry the scaffolding materials, and to erect the scaffolding up for the upper floors. For this, therefore, the passenger number is additionally added in the estimate. Now, now we are going to analyze our rates for PCC 1:4.124 in foundation. Now this is the which includes the collection of material of a lead of 30 meter and per cubic meter. This is the heading of the analysis of rates. Now calculation of material. How can we calculate the material for the PCC work? This is the plain cement concrete work which does not include the reinforcement bars. It is one part of cement, two part of sand, and four part
ये
of
वैसे के
gravel.
सर
वैसे क्या?
हाँ वैसे के
ಅದು
ये
ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು
बस ये इस पर
ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
पढ़ाई
Complete. Uh, PCC for foundation also complete. This is the
ये
now.
फाइव बड़ा सर ये फाइव बड़ा आ जाए
Now analysis of rest for providing and laying stone rubble machinery. Rubble stone machinery means the boulder stone that is taken from the quarry or the river bed for the laying purpose, for the laying of the for construction of the wall. This is the random rubble machinery or stone rubble machinery, same thing. This is rubble machinery or random rubble machinery that is laid with the cement and mortar of 1:4 cement and mortar proportion. And this the height of the wall, height of the stone wall is up to 5 meter, up to 5 meter, and the material that is taken from the site or the stocking place, which includes that carrying of material for the original distance of 30 meter. It includes all these things, and that metal should be carried up to the height of 5 meter. All these things are included in this estimate. Now, calculation of the material. How can we calculate the material? As the size of the stone is not fixed as that of the bricks, so we cannot calculate the number of rubble masonry material for the stone as the stone. The stone material cannot be calculated in numbers. So it is given as 1 cubic meter of the stone masonry, which includes the stone, rubber stone, as well as the cement sand mortar. It includes 1 cubic meter. For the 1 cubic meter volume of the masonry stone wall, we should take the bond stone, block stone. That is, block stone means the stone that is main part of the wall is made by the block stone. That block stone is considered as the same volume of the stone masonry. That is 1 cubic meter. Because if you this 1 cubic meter stone is brought from the river, and it is broken by using the hammer, and to the size that can be carried by the lever, uh, which is placed in the wall. That is slightly dressing by using the hammer, and make the size to put in on the wall. That is the some stones may be lost. That is, there may be wastage. So for considering the wastage, total volume of the brick stonework is considered. So total volume of the stonework is considered for the block stone. And in rubble masonry also we have to maintain the bonding. That is, we have to maintain the bond. For maintaining the bond, or for maintaining the edge of the wall as side edge of the walls, straight and vertical, we use the bone stone. We use the bone stone. Generally, bone stone is taken as 10% of the block stone. That is 10% of the block stone. So take the and the dry volume of the mortar for the For the stone masonry work can be taken as 56% or 55% of the total volume of the brick masonry, stone masonry. This is the condition, that is that's why I have already mentioned here. The size of the stone is not fixed at that of brick. So take the volume of block stone same as total volume of the stone work. The bone stones may be taken as 10% of the block stone. Take the volume of dry mortar for the rubble masonry work as 55% or 56% of total volume of the stone work. That is generally 56% is generally used here. You can use up to 50 to 50 to 60% may be used. Generally, in the norms, generally 56% of the total stone reviews is taken, but I have considering the 55%. 55% can be used. So volume of dry mortar will be because we already know the volume of the bone stone and the block stone, because 1 cubic meter for the block stone and the 0.10 cubic meter for the bone stone is already known here. We have to find the mortar. Now the 55% of the total rubble masonry work is considered as the mortar, dry volume of the mortar. So volume of dry mortar is 0.55 cubic meter. Now total proportion is given as 1 is to 4, as the total proportion will be 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Now so cement is equal to the total volume of the dry mortar divided by the 5. You will get the value of the cement in cubic meter as 0.11 cubic meter. In 1 cubic meter there is 28.8 bags. You can use 30 bags also. You can use 30 bags also, now which gives the value of 3.17 bags. Now for sand, 4 times the volume of cement 0.11, which gives the value of 0.44 cubic meter. Now water cement ratio for the mortar is taken as 0.80. I have already told you in the last session class. So the water is equal to 127 liter. Now after finding the stone and the mortar and water, these are the materials. Now analysis of rates are providing and laying stone rubber masonry work with 1:4 cement and mortar per cubic meter, height up to 5 meter and lead 30 meter. This is the heading. Now the first material, this is the first we have to calculate the material. The materials are as follows: block stone 1 cubic meter, bone stone 10% of block stone 0.10 cubic meter, cement 0.11 cubic meter, which is 3.17 bags, sand 0.11 into 4, 0.44 cubic meter, water 127 liter. It is calculated earlier. Now the for the block stone, the per cubic meter rate of the block stone is 1200 per cubic meter. 1200 per cubic meter, you get the value of 1200 amount. 1200 into 1, 1200. Now bone stone is 10% of the block stone. The bone stone is slightly expensive than the block stone. I have considered 2000 per cubic meter. 2000 is required. This gives the value of 200 rupees. Now cement 0.11 cubic meter is in 3.17 bags. One bag of cement is 700 rupees. You get the amount of 2219 rupees for the cement. Now sand 0.44 cubic meter as usual. The rate is 3000 per cubic meter, which gives the amount of 1320 rupees. Now water 127 liter. I have considered the water rate as 0.25 per liter. You can take up to 0.50 per liter. You can take up to 0.50 per liter. That is, you can take 30 paisa or 40 paisa, 45 or 50, not more than 50. Now this gives the value of 63 rupees 50 paisa. Now add all the amount of these materials, you will get the total amount for the material as 5002 rupees 50 paisa for the brick work. Now for the brick work, the labor required are the mason as well as the unskilled manpower. Skilled manpower is mason, unskilled is fully. The according to the norms of the government, for laying the random rubble machinery work, the quantity of labor required are 1.5 numbers for the skilled manpower and the 5 numbers for the unskilled manpower, because it is very difficult to carry the block stone, because the shape is not fixed. It has to be broken into the shape by using the hammer. That is done by the unskilled manpower. So the quantity of manpower is more here. The mason only lays the stone wall, and the one lever is used to lift the stone to the place, and then only mason is to bond by using the mortar. So the quantity of labor is more required than that of the brick masonry work. So this quantity in brick masonry we have the number of 2.2, but for the stone masonry work the labor is of 5 number, because extra number of labor is required for carrying and breaking the stones into the side. This is the numbers you have to remember, and for the skill manpower we keep the rate at rate as 1200 per number per day, and the unskilled manpower as 900 per number, which gives the total labor cost as 6300 rupees. Now, for brick masonry work also you need the scaffolding. The material used for scaffolding cost, for erecting the scaffolding, as 3% of labor cost is required. That is 0.03 into 6300, you will get the value of 189 rupees. Now, after add all the material, labor and the scaffolding cost, you will get the subtotal cost as 11,491.50 rupees. Do for contractor profit and the VAT as in the usual, you will get the grand total rupees of the 14,936 rupees and 21 paisa. This is the per unit cost of the stone rubble masonry work with 1 is to 4 cement mortar. You can do in this way for the other proportions also, 1 is to 3, 1 is to 5, 1 is to 6, etc. The proportion is different, then the quantity of the material will be different. The labor will be remain same, and for the stone masonry work, you have to add 1.17 numbers of unskilled manpower for the for the next floor. This is done for the ground floor. The 1.17 numbers of the labors means unskilled manpower. This is labors means unskilled manpower. 1.17 numbers of unskilled should be added for addition height 5 to 10 meter. This is up to this rate analysis is up to 5 meter only. If you have to you have to erect the wall, you have to make the wall, construct the wall more than 5 meter. At that time the unskilled manpower is not 5, you have to add 1.17 number on 5, that is 6.17 number is used up to 5 to 10 meter, and above 10 to 15 meter another 1.17 numbers of labor should be added, that is 5 plus 2 into 1.17. This is the condition given for calculating the labors. Now I am going to do for other proportions of motor in similar way. You can do by yourself by for the other proportions of motors also. This is the analysis of rates for random rubber stone masonry work. Now, 6. Analysis of rates for providing and constructing PCC 1 is to 2 is to 4, RCCM 15 concrete exclusion reinforcement of beam, slab, column, lintel, etc. per cubic meter and lead up to 30 meter. This is the another heading of the rate analysis. As I have already taught you how to analyze the rate per unit for the PCC 1 is to 2 is to 4 already in the I think second heading in the PCC in foundation, that is in the second heading concreting. The PCC for RCC means the RCC work includes the reinforcement bars. RCC work includes the reinforcement bar, but plain cement concrete does not include the reinforcement bar. As I have already taught you PCC in the foundation in second heading, number 2 heading, analysis of rest of number third heading. In number third heading, I have already taught you about the PCC in foundation. This is the plain cement concrete which does not include the reinforcement bar. It is a simple cement concreting work. Similarly, this is not for the simple cement concreting work. This is not for the simple cement concreting work, because RCC work can be divided into three headings. RCC work is considered as the PCC work, reinforcement work, and the form work. These for the RCC work, the PCC is considered separately. Reinforcement work is considered separately, and the form work is considered separately. That's why PCC for RCC means, if you are asked in examination to analyze for the analysis of rates of providing RCC work, then you do for 6 number heading. You do for 6 number heading. The calculation of quantity of for PCC 1:2 for RCC. In RCC also there is concrete, sand, and gravel. That is 1:2:4 proportion. The proportion is same as that of item number 3. So the calculation of material for the cement, sand, and the coarse aggregate will remain same. That's why I have not calculated here, because the proportion for PCC 1:4 and the proportion for RCC 1:4, that is the for only concreting work, the quantity of material remains same. That's why I have already directly I put the materials here. That's why cement 0.22 cubic meter, which we were already calculated in the PCC for foundation for 1:4, because the proportion is also same, materials also are also same. That's why the quantity remains same. And the sand 0.44 cubic meter, coarse aggregate 0.8 cubic, and the water cement is taken as 0.50, which gives the value of 159 liter as in usual. That's why the quantity of material required for the same proportion of the RCC 1:2:4, RCC PCC work, which gives the value of total cost of 8877.75 rupees for the material. The labors will be different. For the foundation work, the labor is 1 and 4. For the foundation PCC work, you have already done here that the foundation in item number 3, item number 2, in item number 3, item number 4, the PCC in foundation, the number of skilled and unskilled manpower is 1 and 4. But for PCC for RCC, it is not the plain cement concrete, it is the RCC concrete. But the reinforcement main bars rate analysis is considered separately. So only the concreting work of the RCC work is considered as PCC for RCC. Or you can say that the RCC work, if you are asked to calculate the analysis of rates for RCC work, then you do this analysis of rates of providing and constructing RCC M15 concrete auxiliary reinforcement bar for beam slab, etc. The RCC work means it includes the reinforcement bar, but in rate analysis for the RCC work also the concrete portion is calculated separately, reinforcement portion is calculated separately, and the formwork portion is calculated separately. But this is only for the concrete portion of the RCC work. M15 means 1:2:4 proportion is called M15 concrete. This is and this is the heading, and the calculation of material of this labor skilled and unskilled are the 0.8 and 7 number. For the RCC or RCC concrete or PCC for RCC, the number of the unskilled manpower will high as compared to the PCC in foundation and the other structures. Only the simple plain cement concrete. Now, skilled manpower rate is 1200 and unskilled rate is 900, according to which the total labor cost will be 7,260 rupees. Now, tools, plants, and equipment can be taken as 3% of labor cost. Tools, plants, and equipment can be taken as 3% of the labor cost as 217.80 rupees. Now add all these things 1, 2, and 3 headings. You will get the subtotal of 16,355 and 55 paisa. Now for the contractor's profit and the contractor tax or VAT, you can provide the amount in the usual manner. In the usual manner, you will get the total grand total cost of the you can get the grand total cost of rupees 21,254 rupees here 3 paisa for the uh, of 21,000 254 rupees 03 paisa for the analysis of rates for PCC or for RCC. For RCC, the for RCC PCC or the cost would be 21,254 rupees 3 paisa. Now, seven heading. Analysis of rates for supplying, cutting, bending, and placing of steel reinforcement bar in place for the RCC or per metric ton. Now, the provision of the provision of providing the reinforcement bars for the RCC or for the RCC work is considered separately. For it is for the totally the supplying, cutting, bending, placing of the steel reinforcement bars in place for RCC work per metric ton. If the for the 1000 kg of the reinforcement bar, this is the analysis of rates. This is per metric ton. MT means metric ton. In 1 ton, there is 1000 kg for 1000 kg reinforcement ore. That is, we have to supply 10 quintal of reinforcement bar. We have to cut it into different pieces. We have to make the hooks for bending purpose and overlapping purpose and placing that to the place by using the binding wires to the required shape and size of the reinforcement bars above the formwork. That is the analysis of rates for mild steel ore. Analysis of tour steel ore. The steel reinforcement bar may be mild steel or tour steel, which is available in the market in the present context. That's why that may be mild steel or tour steel. The rate of the both mild steel and tour steel are generally relatively same, but slightly the tour steel reinforcement bar is expensive than the mild steel reinforcement bar. Now, for calculation of the material for the 1 metric ton means 1000 kg of my silver, we have to consider the wastage. If we took the 10,000 kg 1000 kg of the reinforcement bar for the 1 metric ton ore, that may not be sufficient because there may be wastage. If the size of the structure will be different, the availability of the reinforcement bars is of 20 feet or more. That means maybe the up to 20 feet length is available in the market, but the size of the slab, size of the beam, size of the column or lintel may be different rather than the size provided by the industry. So during that we have to join the reinforcement bar by overlapping in some time. We have to cut the reinforcement bars to the small pieces as our requirement, so that the small pieces which is not left after cutting, that may not be used. The pieces of 9 inches, the pieces of 1 feet is not used in the construction for laying the mild steel over. That's why that may be wastage. So considering the 5% wastage of the mild steel bar for 1 metric ton of mild steel, we should um, we should bring the mild steel of 1.05 metric ton. For 1 metric ton, we have to bring more reinforcement bar, because for hooks and other overlapping purpose and the cutting waste, and there may be wastage of the reinforcement bar. So 5% wastage is considered for 1 metric ton. I have done in metric ton. So the quantity of reinforcement bar required will be 1.05 metric ton. 5% is extra. Now for metric ton there is 1000 kg. 1 kg of the reinforcement bar is taken as the 82 rupees to 85 rupees per kg, which is available in the market. That's why I am considering the per kg rupees as 82 rupees, because unit is metric ton. So per metric ton, per 1000 kg, the rate will be 82,000 per metric ton. That's right. The amount will be 86,100 rupees. Now for the 1000 kg for binding the 1000 kg of the reinforcement bar, 13 kg of the binding wire is necessary. 13 kg of binding wire is necessary, and this is the norms. And the rate of the binding wire is slightly expensive than the rate of the steel reinforcement bar. So I have considered the binding wire rate as 95 rupees. You can take it as 95 to in between 95 to 100 rupees also. This is the average rate of the binding wire. Now after multiplying 13 and 95, we get the value of 1235 rupees. Add both these material costs, you get the total cost for the material one as 87,335 rupees. Now labor required for the 1 kg 1 metric ton binding of the supplying, cutting, bending and placing of the reinforcement bars in place is for skilled manpower as 8 numbers, and the unskilled manpower as the 12 number. And this manpower is required, and the rate for the skilled manpower is given as 1200 rupees, and the unskilled as 900 rupees per number. You get the value of total labor cost of 20,400 rupees. Now add material and labor cost. At material and labor cost, you get the subtotal of 1,07,735 rupees. This is the total material and labor cost. Now, contractor's profit and contractor tax and VAT can be included as usual as 15% and the 13% respectively, which gives the grand total cost of 1,40,000 1 rupees and 63 paisa per 1000 kg of mild steel bars bar ore. That is, I have considered the mild steel bar here. So you may be asked steel reinforcement ore for tour steel. For the tour steel, the cost of the tour steel bar will be slightly more than the mild steel bar. You can take the rate as instead of 82, you can put the rate of 90 rupees per kg for the tourist bar. हेलो बुझ्यौ? मैले भनेको बुझ्यौ तिमीहरूले?
सर हजुर
बुझ्यो सर।
यो पिसिसी फर आरसिसी भन्नु र आरसिसी ओर भनेर सोध्यो भने गर्ने एउटै हो जाँचमा। कुरा बुझ्यौ है? आरसिसी पिसिसी फर आरसिसी र आरसिसी ओर भनेर सोध्यो भने गर्ने एउटै हो। कुरा बुझ्यौ है? तर फेरि मानिले स्टेट इन्भेस्टमेन्ट वर्क भन्यो भने फेरि गर्ने अर्कै हो। त्यो भएर पिसिसी फर फाउन्डेसन अथवा पिसिसी फर अदर वर्क भन्नु अर्कै हो। पिसिसी मात्रै गर भन्यो भने सिम्पल पिसिसी भयो, त्यो फाउन्डेसनको भुइँमा गर्ने भने जस्तो पिसिसी भयो, त्यसलाई चाहिँ साधारण रूपमा लिइन्छ। त्यो पहिलाको चाहिँ 4 नम्बरमा गरे जस्तो गर्नु पर्यो। यदि चाहिँ पिसिसी फर आरसिसी भन्यो भने योभन्दा माथिल्लोको 6 नम्बरको गर्नु पर्यो है। यदि आरसिसी वर्क मात्रै भन्यो भने पनि 6 नम्बरकै गर्ने हो। तर माइल स्टिल वर्क अथवा रेन्फोर्समेन्ट वर्क भन्यो भने 7 नम्बरको गर्ने। बुझ्यो है? यो कसरी गरेको के गरेको भन्ने कुरा मैले 1 टनको चाहिँ नि रड छडको चाहिँ नि त्यसलाई सप्लाई गर्ने, त्यसलाई कट्ने, त्यसलाई काट्ने, त्यसलाई बेन्डिङ गर्ने हैन, बेन्डिङ गरेको साइजलाई चाहिँ लहर चाहिँ माथि चाहिँ नि फर्मवर्कको माथि लहर चाहिँ त्यसलाई के अरे प्लेस गर्ने र बाँध्ने है, त्यो जम्मै गर्ने काम चाहिँ के गरेको त भन्दाखेरि यो माइल्ड स्टिल वर्क अथवा चाहिँ स्टिल रेन्फोर्समेन्ट वर्कमा आयो है। त्यो स्टिल रेन्फोर्स वर्कमा जहाँ जति बेला टोर स्टिल रेन्फोर्समेन्ट भन्दैला माइल्ड स्टिल भन्दैला जेसुकै भन्दैला गर्ने यसरी नै हो। खालि रेट चाहिँ अलिकति के हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि टोर स्टिलको चाहिँ अलिकति माइल्ड स्टिलभन्दा महँगो हुन्छ। मैले माइल्ड स्टिललाई पर केजीको 82 रुपियाँमा राखेँ भने तिमीहरूले टोर स्टिललाई पर केजीको चाहिँ 90 रुपियाँ राखेर गएर मिल्छ। अरू जम्मै एउटै हो है। Let us move towards the another reading. Analysis of rates for 12.5 mm thick 1:4 cement and mortar plastering in wall for 100 square meter, including supplying material, supplying labor, tool, plants, equipment for complete of the work per 100 square meter. Plastering per 100 square meter using cement and mortar 1:4 proportion. The thickness of the mortar is 12.5 mm given here. If you are not provided with the thickness in the examination, you can take 10 mm, you can take 12.5 mm, you can take 20 mm also. But for wall or floor, you can take in general 12.5 mm thick plaster, 12 mm thick plaster. This thickness is of different varieties, up to up to less than 20 mm thickness. Up to less than 20 mm thickness, the analysis of rate is same. Up to less than 20 mm thickness. If the thickness is 20 mm or more, then the analysis of rate will be different. For the ceiling work, the rate is different. For the wall work, the rate is different. For the 20 mm thick plaster, the rate is different. That's why the in 3 headings the plastering work can be done. The 3 headings, the plastering work can be done. Now, calculation of material. How can you calculate the material required for the plaster? Here the area of the plaster is given as 100 square meter. Look at the per 100 square meter. This is the area of the plaster. Now the thickness of the plaster is given as 12.5 mm. So the volume of the plaster weight. This is the weight volume of the plaster because which is put on the wall. This is the plaster surface 100 square meter and the thickness of the plaster. This means the work is on the wall or ceiling or floor, etc. This means the volume of the weight plaster mortar, weight volume of mixed cement and mortar will be area into thickness, which gives the value of thickness is given in mm. It is converted into meter by divided by 1000 square meter and meter, which gives the value of meter cube, that is 1.25 cubic meter. This is the weight volume of the mix of the mortar. Now for dry volume, we have to consider the generally consider the 55% extra or 50% extra, because 5% is considered for the loss and 20% is considered for the surface uneven surface to be make it even and smooth, and the 25% is considered for the volume reduction. This is the for plastering surface. Generally 50 to 55% is added extra. So I am considering 50% extra here, 5% wastage, 20% surface unevenness, and the 25% for the volume reduction. So dry volume of the mortar mix means cement and sand will be 1.5 times the weight volume of the mortar as 1.25 cubic meter, which gives the value of 1.875 cubic meter. Now the proportion is of 1:4, total proportion is 5. That's why cement is equal to 1.875 divided by 5. Dry volume of the mix divided by the total proportion, 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, and you get the volume of the cement as 0.375 cubic meter. That is converted into bags. by multiplying it by 28 bags or 30 bags. You can use 30 bags also, which gives the cement as 10.8 bags. Now for sand, the 4 part of sand is used. 1 part of cement is multiplied by 4. You will get the value of the amount of sand, quantity of sand as 1.5 cubic meter. Now water cement ratio for the mortar. This is also the mortar, because the plaster mortar is and the brick mortar are same. Only the sometimes the plaster mortars sand, maybe fine sand can be used. So the only the texture of the mortar will be different, but the proportion and the other things are remain same. That's why the water cement ratio for the mortar is taken as German 80. So water is equal to 432 liters. After finding German 80 into 10.8 bags of cement, in 1 bags of cement 50 kg, 1 kg is equal to 1 liter. It is converted into liter as 432 liters for the 100 square meter plastering surface water is needed. Now after this is these are the materials required for the plaster. Now analysis of rates. After finding the quantity of material, the analysis of rates for 12.5 mm thick 164 cement sand plastering in walls per 100 square meter, including supply of material, level tools and plants etc. for complete work. Now, one of material. Material means cement, sand, water. These are the calculated quantities and use the rate. As usual, you will get the total of one as 12,168 rupees. For the skilled manpower, the plastering on wall, the thickness is of 12.5 mm, which is less than the 20 mm. Up to 20 mm for the plaster surface on wall and floor, the number of labor required is 12 and 16. 12 skilled manpower and 16 unskilled manpower. This is for 100 square meter. 12 number for skilled manpower and 16 numbers for unskilled manpower. Now the total cost for the labor will be 28,800 rupees by providing the rate of skill as 1200 per number and the 900 per number for the unskilled. Now you can put here the tools, plants, equipment as 3% of labor cost also here. I haven't mentioned here. You can use that for the scaffolding, because for the upper height of the building, you can use the scaffolding for carrying materials and for the labors during the process of plastering. So that is needed here. I have not mentioned here. You can provide that 3% of labor cost can be provided here. Right? Please make note. I have. I have forgotten to provide the 3% of labor cost here, because tools and plants also are included in this heading. That's why you can provide 3% of the labor cost for the scaffolding, for carrying materials and the manpower. Now, after adding 1, 2, and 3 for the scaffolding, you will get the subtotal, and with the subtotal you can provide the contractor profit overhead as well as VAT, and you can find out the grand total cost. This is for the plastering or the having the thickness less than 20 mm, less than 20 mm. Now, for if you are provided with other thickness, 10 mm, same same procedure can be done. Instead of finding the total volume of the plaster material, weight volume, you have to multiply 100 into 10 mm instead of 12.5 mm. If you are provided with 20 mm thick plaster, then the quantity of material will be 100 into 20 divided by 1000. Will be that will be the weight volume of the motor. In case 55% extra or 50% extra, you will get the dry volume. With the proportion may be different. 1:3, 1:6, 1:5 maybe extra used. At that time, this proportion is used to find the quantity of material by dividing the total dry volume by the total proportion given. You can find the material. That's why for plaster of thickness, if the thickness is greater than 20 mm or up to 20 mm, less than 20 mm, for the thickness of 20 mm, use skilled manpower as 14 and 19. For the thickness less than 20 mm, use 12 and 16 number. For thickness more than 20 mm, use 14 and 19 numbers for the plaster in wall and floor. But if you have to plaster the surface on the ceiling, it is very difficult to stuck the plaster mortar on ceiling, because the motor has to be stuck on the in the ceiling against the gravity. Though so more levels are required for the plaster surface. For plastering the ceiling surface, the thickness of the motor may be small thickness is used. That is 10 mm, 12.5 mm is used. 20 mm thickness is not used for the plastering purpose in the ceiling. That's why the thickness, if you are asked to prepare the analysis of rates for 1:4 cement and plastering in ceiling, then you have to provide the thickness of the ceiling as 10 mm or 12.5 mm. Don't provide the thickness of 20 mm for the ceiling, because it is very difficult to stuck the plaster on the ceiling. That's why remember that for ceiling use 12.5 mm and lesser thickness. For ceiling use 12.5 mm and lesser thickness. Levers as skill as 15 and the unskilled as 90. For the ceiling plaster, the skilled manpower can be uh, taken as 16 and 15 and 19 instead of plastering of the hello, hello.
हजुर सर
हजुर सर
मैले भने बुझिराख्नु भएको छ?
बुझ्या सर
बुझेको छैन भने
बुझिरहेको
भन है फेरि। अहिले चाहिँ सरी 15 and 20 number is used, not 19. 15 and 20 number is can be used for the ceiling. For plaster surface less than 20 mm, use the manpower as 12 and 16. For greater than 20 mm or 20 mm or above, use the manpower as 14 and 19. And for ceiling, use the manpower as 15 and 20. This is the condition. If you are asked to prepare the analysis average for in ceiling, use the number of skill as 15 and unskill as 20, and take the thickness of mortar up to 12.5 mm. 10 mm or 12.5 mm can be used for the thickness of the plaster mortar in ceiling. But if you are asked to prepare the analysis of rates for cement plastering on wall or floor with 20 mm thickness cement plaster, then at that time use the skilled and all skilled manpower of to 14 and 19 instead of 12 and 16. Okay, this is the condition. Calculation of material can be done for other proportions also in the similar manner. First of all, find the total volume of the plaster surface, and that is what volume of mortar. Add 55% or 50% extra. You will get the dry volume of mortar, and that dry volume of mix is divided by the total proportion. You will find the volume of cement, and we multiply that volume of cement by the proportion of sand. You will get the value of sand. After finding the material, you can use the procedure in the similar way by considering the 3% of labor cost for the scaffolding also. I have not mentioned here. Please note that that must be included here. Now, for the analysis of rest for flush pointing in brick masonry work, that is the pointing work. Pointing work means the trip car. It is considered as the trip car. That is the analysis of rates for flush pointing in brick masonry work in 137 cm motor per 100 square meter. The pointed surface is considered as the same surface of the plaster surface also. The same surface is considered, but the in pointing the material used in the machinery work is can be seen from the outside, because all the portion of the machinery material is not rendered by the pointed surface, because pointing is used to provide the decorative of the machinery work, or it may be used to provide extra strength to the joint of the masonry work. That's why pointing and the plastering are both of them are the finishing work of the masonry work. But in plastering, the all the masonry structure material is rendered or hide by the plastering material. But in pointing, there is the inner core material of masonry work, that is stone or bricks, can be seen from the outside. Only the bonding portion of the masonry is rendered by the pointing material, as in the as in the plastering. Now, calculation of material. Generally, pointing is done with the rich cement mortar, that is 1:1, 1:2, and 1:3 proportions. The thickness of mortar should not be less than 10 mm. The thickness of pointed mortar should not be less than 10 mm. Dry volume of pointing mix is taken as 40 to 45% of the weight volume of whole surface of the plastering. So volume of weight mortar will be weight mortar for taking 10 mm thickness. The total volume of the weight mortar will be 100 into 100 square meter is area. Thickness of mortar is considered as 10 mm, which is 10 divided by 1000, which gives the value of 0.010. Now, which gives the value of 1 cubic meter of weight volume of water. Taking dry volume of mix as 44% of the total volume, which gives the value of 0.44 cubic meter. Now, cement will be 0.44 divided by total proportion as 1:3, that is 4, which gives the 0.11 cubic meter, which is 3.17 bags. And sand is equal to 0.11 into 3, which gives the 0.33 cubic meter. Water cement is 0.8, so water will be 127 liter. Now, cement, this is 3.17 bag, sand 0.33 cubic meter, water is 127 liters. Now, rate is same, the total volume of the material will be 3940.75, and the labor will be or pointing surface for pointing purpose, skilled manpower is taken as 10.5, and the unskilled manpower is taken as 12, because manpower is more manpower is required in the pointing, because it is done by using the pointing material, so pointing device, to make the wall more decorative in all the bones of the brick masonry or stone masonry, to be covered by the pointing, and the work is done in the slower rate at that of the plastering. So the quantity of material labor will be higher. And this is the per person. Scaffolding is considered for 3% of labor cost. Total cost of labor is calculated in the previous manner, and the 3% is considered, and contractor profit overhead and VAT is provided as in the usual way. That's why the total cost per unit per 100 square meter of the plastering surface for using the 1:3 sand mortar will gives the value of 36,441.55 rupees. 36,400 uh, uh, 441.55 rupees. Now 10 and do for other proportion of 1 is to 1, 1 is to using same numbers of the skilled and the unskilled manpower. You can use for other proportion as 1 is to 1, 1 is to 2, and also if you are asked in examination, unless you have raised for flush pointing in brick masonry per 100,000 square meter, per 100 square meter, per 125 square meter, do for 100 square meter. You cannot take the mortar, cement mortar ratio as 1 is to 3, not more than 1 is to 3, 1 is to, this is the ridge mortar, 1 is to 1, 1 is to 2, and 1 is to 3. This is the mortar which is very strong, is ridge mortar. So the ridge cement mortar is used for the pointing purpose. Don't use 1 is to 4, 1 is to 5, and 1 is to 6 mortar proportion for the pointing purpose, as in the plaster surface. Plastering can be done 1 is to 6, 1 is to 5, 1 is to 4, but pointing cannot be done as 1 is to 6 and 1 is to 5 ratio. It is done in ridge cement mortar of 1 is to 1, 1 is to 2, or 1 is to 3. Please remember this. Now, in 10, analyze average for solid wood for door and window frame. This is the uh, only frame. The shutter is not. It is not for the shutter. Frame means the. I have already drawn the figure here. There. Here. This is the frame of the door. That is the. It does not have the. It does not have the have shutter here. The work includes only the construction of the frame of the frame. It includes the wood part covered from the three side. Bottom portion can be used, or can be provided, or may not be provided. I am considering the only three members here: vertical members of 2 and the horizontal member of 1 unit is considered here. And the LIC of rates for solid work for door and window frame, including fixing per cubic meter. That is, the frame is constructed and it is fixed on the wall by using the hole fast. This is the analysis of rates for solid for door and window frame, including fixing per cubic meter. Now, description of work. What type of the things are needed for us? The we need the material as solid. So we need the material of solid. Per cubic meter. Per cubic meter, we can construct much more, many more of doors, frame. That's why in a, in a in a in a single door frame, there must be four numbers of the minimum four number of the whole far. If you divide the 92 numbers of whole far by 4, then 23 numbers of door frame can be built by using 1 cubic meter of the solid. That is, uh, if there is three members required for the one door frame, two vertical and one horizontal member of size 900 mm by 200 mm, then at that time 23 numbers of the door frame can be made by using the solid of 1 cubic meter, having the wood size of 100 by 75 mm. That is, the size of the wood means cross sectional area of the wood. The width of the wooden member may be 100 mm, and the height of the thickness of the wooden member may be 75 mm. Length may be vary. That is, length may be two numbers of 200 mm and one number of 900 mm. That is 2.10 meter for two number and 0.90 meter for single number is used. So, for per cubic meter, solid work, you can construct the 23 numbers of the wooden frame like this, 900 by 200. This is considered here. Now, for 1 cubic meter, if you have to make the wooden frame using 1 cubic meter of 23 numbers. If you take the 1 cubic meter wood, that may be wasted. That may not provided for the 23 numbers of the wooden frame. You must include the wastage part also. You must include the wastage part also. So solid including 10% wastage for cubic meter of the solid after considering 10%, which gives the 1.10 cubic meter. The rate per unit of per cubic meter of the solid is 2,40,000, which you can use 250,000 also. 2 lakh, it is very expensive member because solid is very expensive, and that's why the per unit per meter cube of solid rate is minimum 240 rupees, 2,40,000 rupees, which gives the value of 264,000 rupees. Now, for fixing the wooden frame on the in the wall, you must use the iron hold fast to fix the wooden member vertically on in the wall, twisted vertically in the wall. Wooden member is hold fast is used to fix and join the frame with the wall. Hold fast is iron hold fast is used. MS means mild steel. This is the iron hold fast for 23 numbers of the wooden frame. For each number, you must minimum provide 4 numbers of the hold fast. So 23 into 4 it gives the value of 92 numbers. This is the 92 number. One hold fast cost rupees 20, which gives the value of 1840 rupees. Now to fix the whole pass on the in the wooden frame, nails must be used for one whole pass. 2 numbers of nails are provided for 92 whole pass. 184 numbers of nails are or screws are provided. One screw may cost rupees 2 rupees. This is the screw may be of 1 inch or 1.5 inch of screw can be used. The one number of screw may cost rupees 2, and then 184 numbers of screw cost total amount of 368 rupees. Add all these costs, this is the total material cost. This is the total material cost. Now, 2. Labors. For 1 cubic meter of the woodwork, providing the frame, 34 numbers of skilled manpower are required. 34 numbers of skilled manpower are required, and unskilled number of manpower is 3.4 only, because in the woodwork the proportion of skilled manpower to the unskilled manpower is in the ratio of 10 is to 1. 10 is to 1 ratio is provided. If you know the skilled manpower, then find the unskilled manpower by dividing the skilled manpower by 10. You will get the unskilled manpower, because the main worker which is which makes the wooden frame or wooden sorter is main worker is the carpenter is used. But unskilled manpower is used for providing water to the carpenter, providing tobacco to the carpenter, providing and helps to uh, sharpen the blades of the saws and the randa. That's why unskilled manpower is useless in the wooden work. So the number of unskilled manpower is very low in compared to the skilled manpower. So for 1 cubic meter of wooden work to make the 23 numbers of the frame, 34 numbers of unskilled skilled manpower is required, and the 3.4 numbers of the unskilled manpower is required. 10% of the skilled manpower. That is For carpenter, the rate may be 1200 skilled manpower, and for unskilled manpower, the rate may be 900, which gives the total cost of the labor as 43,860 rupees. The tools, plants, and equipment is not considered here because the carpenter must carry his own tools. Carpenter must carry his own tools. He should have all the necessary hand tools for constructing the wooden members. That's why it is not considered here. Now, contractor profit and overhead provided, and VAT and tax also provided with the with the mentioned subtotal amount and the total amount. And now the ratio of skilled to unskilled for woodwork is 10:1. This is the uh, thing that you have to remember. If you know the quantity of skilled manpower, you can find automatically the quantity of unskilled manpower by dividing it by 10. This is the uh, only for frame. The size of the frame is taking at the 200 and 900. This size is taken, and the wood size of 1000 into 75 mm is considered for the analysis of rates in terms of the cubic meter. If you are asked in examination, if you are asked examination analysis of rates for sod or for door frame for number including fixing per number, if you are asked in terms of per number, then you do in this way. Then you do in this way per number. Now for this, the size of the door is given as 900 by 200 mm. 900 means width, 210 mm means height. The 3-footed wooden member is used here. Now, and the size of wood is taken as 100 by 75 mm. This is a cross sectional portion. Now, calculation of wood required for the frame. How can you calculate the wood required for this frame? In the previous 10 number heading, the the total quantity of wood is given as in cubic meter basis, but there is the given the size is given and the number is fixed per number. For single number of the frame, what will be the total amount of the manpower is required. Now calculation of wood required for the frame. How can you calculate the wood? Length of the frame. Length of the frame means total length of the wooden frame is 2100 into 2 plus 900. That means 2.10 meter into 2 into 0.90 plus 0.90, which gives the value of 5.10 meter. 5.10 meter length is required. Total length of the wood. The cross sectional area is 0.10 by 0.075. Where cross sectional area is, this is the brown yellow figure is here. This is cross sectional part. The length may be long. Length may be long. That's why the length of the frame wood is 5.10 meter. Volume of the wood required. The volume of the wood required is equal to length of the frame and the which is multiplied by the cross sectional area of the frame. The length of the frame is 5.10 meter, and the cross sectional area is 100 by 75 in terms of mm. You can find the in terms of a meter, 100 divided by 1000 into 75 divided by 1000, which gives the value of 0.03825 cubic meter. 0.03825 cubic meter is needed for a single frame, for a single frame of this section. Now, wood with 10% wastage. This is the total wood required. We have to consider the 10% wastage for this also. So the total wood required for this frame will be 0.042 cubic meter. This is the condition. Now, use the material as solid as 0.042 cubic meter. This is including wastage, and the old pass is required here, and the nails also required. Now solid work include 10% wastage, 0.042 cubic meter. Per cubic meter cost is 240,000, and which gives the value of 10,080 rupees for the frame. Now, mild steel whole pass for a frame you have to minimum number of hole pass is 4 numbers, and per number cost is 20, which gives the value of 80 rupees. Now nails and screws 8 numbers, 4 numbers, and 2 for each number. 2 number is 16. Total cost of 10,176 rupees. Now skilled and unskilled manpower required. Skilled carpenter required for preparing a single frame is 1.5 number, and unskilled number will be 10% of the 1.5, which gives the 0.15 number. The rate for carpenter is 1200, and the rate for the unskilled labor is 900 per number, which gives the total cost of labor will be 1935 rupees. Now, after adding the material cost and the labor cost, you will get the total subtotal cost at 12,111 rupees. Contractor profit and overhead 50%, and the VAT is provided 30%. The grand total cost can be calculated as 15,738 rupees 24 paisa for the frame only, not for the frame only, not the shutter. This is the 15,738.24 rupees for this type of frame construction of the solid. Now the ratio of skilled manpower is 10:1. Remember this. This up to this I have completed for this, because up to 7 minutes is remaining. Before in 7 minutes I can complete the this 12 number heading also. 12 number analysis of rates for 38 thick solid frame for panel door shutter per number. This is considered analysis of rates for 38 thick solid frame for panel door shutter per number. This is the shutter which is made up of solid planks. That's why this is called panel shutter. The thickness of the shutter is 38 Now, size of the shutter is given as 1.07 width and 1.982 meter height. The height and breadth and height of the shutter is 1.07 meter and the 1.982 meter, which gives the value of size of shutter as 2.12074 square meter. Now, finding the calculation of solid, the thickness is multiplied by this square meter. You can get the volume of the solid required. Volume of the solid will be 2.12074 into 38 divided by 1000, which gives the value of 0.0806 cubic meter. Wood with 5% wastage, you will get the value of 0.084 cubic meter. Considering 5% wastage, you will get the value of 0.80 cubic meter. Now, material is calculated here. Now, the rate analysis is done. Analysis of rate for 30 thick solid frame for panel door. You can use per number. Now, this is the calculation of the now this is the calculation of the solid, and after calculating the solid, now analysis of rates for 30 thick solid frame for panel door shutter per number, including fixtures, including all fixtures. Now, in the frame, you can see the frame in the shutter. There is handle, there is tower bolt, there is hinge, there is locking set, etc. are used in the frame. Double shutter of the panel door double shutter of this door is provided here. Now, the material required is solid, including 5% wastage. The volume of the solid is 0.084 cubic meter, which is calculated in earlier. This cubic meter per cubic meter rate is 240,000, which gives the value of 20,160 rupees. Now, iron hinge. Hinge means the kabza. कब्जा प्रोभाइड गर्नु पर्यो दुईतिर तिम्रो चाहिँ ढोकालाई अडाउनको लागि फ्रेममा अडाउनको लागि त्यो एकातिर चाहिँ तीनटा अर्कोतिर तीनटा राख्नु पर्यो फ्रेम आइरन हिन्ज 150 mm को चाहिँ नि लम्बाइको चाहिँ नि यो चाहिँ 6 इन्चीको हिन्ज हो 6 इन्चीको हिन्ज एकापट्टिको पल्लालाई तीनटा अर्कोपट्टिको पल्लालाई तीनटा गर्दाखेरि 6 वटा आयो 6 नम्बर दिस इज द कब्जा हो यो हिन्ज भनेको कब्जा 6 नम्बर एउटा कब्जाको मूल्य 60 रुपैयाँ है 6 6 जा 360 360 रुपैयाँ कब्जालाई लाग्यो द टावर बोल्ट 150 mm एल्युमिनियम टावर बोल्ट भनेको छेस्किनी हो ढोकाको चाहिँ तल र माथि के राख्नु पर्यो त छेस्किनी लगाउनु पर्यो त्यो छेस्किनीलाई टावर बोल्ट भन्छ टावर बोल्ट पनि 6 इन्ची लम्बाइको एल्युमिनियमको टावर बोल्ट अब एल्युमिनियमको टावर बोल्ट एउटा तल एउटा माथि दुईटा लाग्यो एउटाको 75 रुपैयाँको दरले दुईटाको कति भयो 150 रुपैयाँ टोटल कस्ट फर टावर बोल्ट इज 150 रुपैयाँ नाउ लकिङ सेट मिन्स अब बाहिरबाट चाहिँ चुकुल लाउनु पर्ला के गर्नु पर्ला त्यसलाई लकिङ सेट भन्छ लकिङ सेट 1 फिट लम्बाइको हैन अब छेस्की त्यो बाहिरबाट लगाउने चाहिँ चुकुल त्यसलाई भन्छ लकिङ सेट 130 आइरनको चाहिँ नि 300 mm को प्रयोग गरे जति राम्रो क्वालिटीको प्रयोग गर्यो ब्रासको कभरहरुको पनि पाइन्छ अब त्यो जति राम्रो चाहिँ मेटेरियलको कभर गर्यो त्यति त्यसको मूल्य चाहिँ बढ्छ फेरि एकदम महँगो पर्छ हैन त्यो अनुसार मैले के गरेको त सिम्पल चीजहरु राखेर खाली सिकाएको मात्र हो यो लकिङ सेट आइरन लकिङ सेट 300 mm एउटा भए पुग्छ ढोका लाउनलाई यसको एउटाको चाहिँ 300 रुपैयाँ which gives the value of 300 rupees now handle we have the handle for the outside and for the inside purpose also बाहिर खोल्न र भित्र खोल्न दुईतिर के चाहिन्छ ह्यान्डल चाहिन्छ ह्यान्डल 150 mm 6 इन्चीको ह्यान्डल एल्युमिनियमको एउटा बाहिरको लागि एउटा भित्रको लागि भएको हुनाले फर द इनसाइड एन्ड द आउटसाइड two numbers of handles are required one handle will cost 50 rupees aluminum handle 150 mm which gives the value of 100 rupees now screw nails and the other things are required there for the hinge tower bolt locking set handle many screws are required so the how many numbers of screws are required we should not consider that but in lump sum the lump sum means लगभग यति रुपैयाँ भयो भने हामीलाई नील र स्क्रूमा पुग्छ होला भनेर छुट्याएको मैले एउटा स्क्रूको चाहिँ अब चाहिँ 1.5 रुपैयाँ पर्यो भने पनि 100 वटा स्क्रू भयो त्यतिलाई जम्मालाई पुग्छ होला भन्ने हिसाब कतिपय त यही सेटमै आउँछ कतिपय नआउने छ भने पनि यसले यसमा पुग्छ होला भन्ने हिसाब किताबमा चाहिँ lump sum भनेको अचुवामा राखेको हो यसको क्वान्टिटी हुँदैन रेट हुँदैन एकैचोटी अमाउन्ट हुन्छ screws and nails lump sum which is equal to 150 rupees. Add all these material costs, you will get a total of 21,220 rupees. This is the only material cost. Now, the fixing of the lever and making the fixing of the shutter and making the shutter, you need the carpenters and the unskilled manpower. For one shutter, one panel door shutter, for making the number of carpenters required is 10 number, and according to which the unskilled manpower is 10% of the carpenter, which is 1 number, and the 1200 per carpenter and the 900 per unskilled manpower, which gives the total labor cost of 21,000. Then subtotal of the material and the labor cost will be 42,200 rupees for a panel door shutter. So the expensive door shutter is very expensive here. Now contractor profit and overhead and VAT is provided as in the usual trend, which gives the grand total cost of the providing the shutter of size 1.07 by 1.982 of 38 mm provided with these fixtures, which will cost per number as 54,864 rupees 89 paisa. This is the per unit item cost of the door frame. Hello? Hello?
Hazur sir.
Hazur.
Everyone understood this? Hello?
हजुर सर
अब यो एनालाइसिस अफ रेट्स गर्दाखेरि अब कुनलाई के सामान चाहिन्छ के राख्नु पर्छ भन्ने कुरा थाहा हुनु पर्यो हामीले के मेटेरियल युज गर्छौं त्यसको आधारमा चाहिँ नि यसको मूल्य घट्ने बढ्ने हुन जान्छ कुन क्वालिटीको मेटेरियल युज गर्छौँ घट्ने बढ्ने हुन जान्छ। अब सालउडको सट्टा हामीले अरू चाहिँ टिकउडको प्रयोग गऱ्यो भने यो सस्तो परेर जान्छ होइन, किनभने मूल्य चाहिँ टिकउडको त धेरै सस्तो छ। सालउडको 2,40,000 चाहिँ कागज क्युफिट, अर्को चाहिँ अब चाहिँ 40,50,000 60,000 पाइन्छ त्यो भने त्यसको त मूल्यले गर्दाखेरि धेरै सस्तो परेर जान्छ। अब हामीले लगाउने चाहिँ यो चाहिँ फिक्सर्सहरू जुन छन्, जुन चाहिँ झाल ढोकाहरूमा लगाउने फिक्सर्सहरू भनेको ह्यान्डलहरू, कब्जाहरू, लकिङ सेटहरू होइन, अब यी चिजहरू चाहिँ विभिन्न चाहिँ मेटेरियलको पाइन्छ। राम्रो राम्रो डेकोरेटिभ चिजहरू पनि पाइन्छ, ढोकालाई राम्रो देखाउनलाई चाहिँ बनाएको होइन। अब त्यस्तो चाहिँ हालिदियो भने एउटैको चाहिँ महँगो महँगो पर्ने खालको पनि हुनसक्छ। त्यस्तो राख्यो भने अझै कस्ट बढ्न जान्छ। हामीले कस्तो किसिमको बनाउँछौँ त्यसमा भर पर्छ। त्यो कुराले अब हामीलाई चाहिएको आवश्यकता अनुसारको हाल्ने हो। जाँचमा तिमीले चाहिँ एकदम हेभी हाल्नुपर्छ भन्ने छैन, सिम्पल हालेर देखाइदिएपछि यसरी गर्ने भने तरिका जान्ने हो। लेबर सङ्ख्या मिल्न पर्यो, वुडको क्वान्टिटी मिल्न पर्यो, यो चाहिँ नि जुन जुन चिजहरू राख्न पर्ने त्यसको क्वान्टिटी मिल्न पर्यो। रेट चाहिँ के हुनसक्छ, यो आइटमको चाहिँ नि क्वालिटी अनुसार रेट चाहिँ के हुनसक्छ, फरक हुनसक्छ। बुझ्यो है? यो चाहिँ नि जाँचमा सोध्न सक्छ, इम्पोर्टेन्ट चिजहरू वुडवर्कमा फ्रेमको सोध्न सक्छ अथवा सटरको सोध्न सक्छ। कुनै साइज दिएर त्यसको निकाल भनिदिन सक्छ। त्यो आफैले चाहिँ जान्न पर्यो कसरी निकाल्ने, के गर्ने भन्ने कुरा। मैले कसरी निकालेको के गरेको जम्मै देखाइदिएको छु मैले है। यसरी क्यालकुलेसन गरेको, वुड यति % वेस्टेज लिएको जम्मै देखाइदिएको छ। यो अनुसार आफू पनि के हुनु पर्यो, रेडी हुनु पर्यो। साइज अफ सटर दिन्छ, नदियो भने आफूले एजुम गर्नु पर्यो है। साइज अफ सटर दिन्छ, नदिए आफूले एजुम गर्ने। एजुम गर्दाखेरि अब हामीलाई डोरको चाहिँ टोटल चाहिँ फ्रेमको साइज 900 बाई 2100 भयो भने अब यतिखेर 75 200 गइसकेपछि त 150 त गइसक्यो, 0.15 त गयो भने 900.91 0.15 गयो भने कति हुन्छ भने हेर्नु पर्यो। अथवा 2.1 को चाहिँ विड्थको चाहिँ डोर छ भने 2.1 विड्थको चाहिँ के अरे 1.2 विड्थको डोर छ भने त्यो बेलामा दुईतिर 75 जाँदाखेरि अनि बल्ल यो आउने हो। यो साइज कति आएको छ भन्दाखेरि यसको चाहिँ नि फ्रेमको साइज चाहिँ नि 1.07 आएको छ नि, दुईतिर 15 गयो, 2.1 मा दुईतिर 15 गयो। अनि दुईतिरको फेरि के थप्यो त भन्दाखेरि एक चाहिँ नि हाम्रो के थप्यो त भन्दाखेरि 1 सेन्टिमिटर अथवा 1.5 सेन्टिमिटर चाहिँ नि ग्रुप थप्यो। ग्रुप थप्दाखेरि 1.07 हुन आइपुग्यो चौडाइतिर। 2.1 चाहिँ नि चौडाइ, 1.2 लम्बाइ हो भने यो 2.1 भनेको चाहिँ नि मेन डोरको लागि 2.1 लम्बाइ राखिन्छ। अरू चाहिँ साना ढोकाको लागि 0.9 को चाहिँ चौडाइ, 0.9 मिटरको चाहिँ चौडाइ राखिन्छ है। अब त्यो हिसाब किताबमा आएको चिजहरू यो। अब साइज त्यहाँ दिएको छ भने साइज त्यही ए अनुसार गर्नु पर्यो। साइज दिएको रहन्छ भने आफैले के गर्नु पर्यो त, साइज कन्सिडर गर्नु पर्यो। नाउ अब यो गरिसकेपछि अब यहाँ
सर,
हेलो
सर त्यो नम्बर राख्नु भएको छ नि, त्यो 10:1 भनेर, त्यो अब 10 र 1 राख्नु भएको छ, त्यो त्यसको सट्टामा 20 र 2 राख्दा के हुन्छ?
होइन
हजुर,
मैले मन लाग्यो आएको होइन कि यो गभर्मेन्ट नर्म्सले के भनेको छ त भन्दाखेरि एक नम्बर एउटा ढोका यो साइजको बनाउने हो भने यति सङ्ख्या लाग्छ भनेर नर्म्सले दिएको छ के। नर्म्सले दिएको चिज राखेको हो यो, बुझेनौ
सर? आज क्लास
एउटा ढोकामा 6वटा हिन्ज चाहिन्छ।
730 सम्म हो, सकियो है। मैले यो चाहिँ सक्नलाई
आइरन हिन्जको भन्नु त एकचोटि
यो सकियो, कहाँसम्म सक्यो त भन्दाखेरि
सर 12 नम्बरको सेक्रेट सर भनेर कासिन गर्दिनु है।
अघि भनेको होइन बाबु,
यो आइरन
हैन सर, आइरन हिन्जको चाहिँ बुझेन के?
आइरनहरुको ल
आइरन हिन्ज 6वटा खाली
भनेको कब्जा,
एउटा ढोकामा 6वटा चाहिन्छ र
घरको ढोका हेर, घरको ढोकामा फ्रेममा चाहिँ सटर चाहिँ अडाउनको लागि छेउमा कब्जाले अडाएको हुन्छ हैन र?
3टा मात्रै कब्जा भयो जस्तो लाग्यो।
तिम्रो सिंगल लिफ हो नि त ढोका, त्यो डबल लिफ हो भनिरहेको छु। दुईटा पल्ला भएको ढोका हो कि यो?
बुझे सर।
अनि सर एउटा ढोकालाई लेबरलाई 12,000 तिर्नु भनेको धेरै हैन।
एको भनेको
स्किल कार्पेन्टर।
यो भनेको चाहिँ प्यानल डोर सटर हो, तिम्रो चाहिँ सादा चाहिँ भिनिस्ता ठोकेको ढोका होइन नि।
अनि त्यत्रो धेरै लिन्छ सर? 12,000 भनेको त अति नै धेरै हैन?
त्यो ढोका किन्न जाऊ न 1 लाख रुपियाँ भन्दा नि माथि पर्छ। ढोका किन्न जाऊ 1 लाख 1.5 लाख 3 लाख पर्छ ढोकालाई।
सालकोलाई त पर्छ।
अनि तिमी त अझ ढोका बुट्टा कुदेको ढोका किन्न जाऊ त कति भन्छ? गणेशका बुट्टा कुदेको कलशहरू बनाएको ढोका, त्यो प्यानल डोर सटर होइन र त्यो महँगो पर्छ नि। त्यो प्यानल डोर सटरमा चाहिँ ती फले घर चाहिँ त्यसै लगाएर ट्याक्क अडाएको हुँदैन। त्यो ग्रुपहरू बनाएर खाँचा काटेर चाहिँ अलिकति राम्रो डेकोरेटिभ बनाइदिएर बनाएको हुन्छ। त्यो समय लाग्छ। आजको आजै कहाँ गरेर भ्याउँछ त्यसले? 10 जना चाहिँ स्किल म्यान पावर लाग्छ भनेर नम्सले दिएको छ भने 10 जना लेबर स्किल म्यान पावर नभए 10 त्यसले चाहिँ त्यो बनाउनलाई काठ काट्नु पर्यो, काठलाई साइजमा रन्दा गरेर लिएर आउनु पर्यो, काठमा ग्रुप्सहरू बनाउनु पर्यो। अनि काठमा भित्रपट्टि चाहिँ त्यो अडाउने चाहिँ नि फले घरलाई चाहिँ सानसानामा काटेर साइजमा काटेर भित्र मिलाउनु पर्यो होइन। अनि ती जम्मै चाहिँ त्यसलाई कसेर चाहिँ नि नेलहरू काठको वुडन नेलहरू बनाएर चाहिँ ठोक्नु पर्यो, साइजमा लिएर आउनु पर्यो होइन। अनि त्यसलाई लगेर चाहिँ फेरि चाहिँ ढोकामा लगेर चाहिँ के गर्नु पर्यो, फ्रेममा लगेर फिक्स गर्नु पर्यो। जम्मै काम यसमा आउँछ है। त्यो फिक्स गर्दाखेरि अब ह्यान्डल सेक्सनदेखि जम्मै चिजहरू राखिदिनु पर्यो, त्यसले सबै काम गर्नु पर्यो। त्यो गर्दाखेरि अब त्यसलाई कति लाग्छ त भन्दाखेरि 10 जना लेबर लाग्छ भनेर नम्सले राखेको कुरा हो, मैले राखेको होइन। यो कुरा बुझ न। नम्सले अब राखिसकेपछि अब एउटा कार्पेन्टरको मूल्य चाहिँ नि 1200मा त कहाँ कार्पेन्टर पाइन्छ? 1200 पर नम्बरमा कार्पेन्टर पाइन्छ? पाइँदैन। 10 नम्बर त नम्सले दिएको छ, 10 नम्बर लाग्छ ढोकाको पल्ला बनाउनलाई भनेर। पल्ला बनाउनलाई काठ लिएर आएर काठलाई रेडी बनाएर जम्मै साइजमा ल्याउनु पर्यो कि जम्मै चिजहरू बनाएर होइन। त्यसलाई फिनिसिङ गर्नेदेखि लिएर खाक्सी लाउनेदेखि लिएर जम्मै गरेर चिडिक्क पारिदिनु पर्यो। जम्मै गर्ने त्यसैले हो। यो जम्मै गर्ने कामलाई 10 जना लेबर लाग्छ भनेर राखे। अब एक दिनमा कहाँ बन्छ र? तिम्रो त्यसै भए त घरमा चाहिँ तिम्रो 10 वटा झ्याल छन् भने 10 जना चाहिँ कार्पेन्टरले 10 वटा झ्याल झ्यापझुप बनाएर भ्याउँछ र? भ्याउँदै भ्याउँदैन नि। कति समय लाग्छ त्यो काठको काम गर्नलाई? अब अहिले त अब मेसिन आएको छ। पहिला त के मेसिनले बनाउने होइन नि त। मेसिन आएको छैन, ह्यान्ड टुलहरू युज गरेर बनाउने बिचार, त्यसले समय लाग्छ। अब अहिले पो तिम्रो चाहिँ नि मेसिन आएको छ, घ्यारेर रन्दा लगाइदियो, घ्यारेर काटिदियो, छिटो जस्तो देखिन्छ नि। यो मेसिन कार्पेन्टरले त अब त्यो छिनो रामो चाहिँ आरी, हाते आरी अनि रन्दा हाते रन्दा लाएर काम गर्न थाल्यो भने कहाँ भ्याउँछ त्यसले? भ्याउँदैन नि। त्यो रेट हो यो है।
नम्स मोडिफाई नभएर होला सर, त्यो पुरानै रेट भएर होला।
मोडिफाई हुँदैन, किनभने उसले मेसिन प्रयोग गर्यो भने त उसैको मेसिन प्रयोग गर्यो नि त। त्यो नम्समै दिएको कुरा हो। नम्समा दिएको कुरालाई हामीले के गर्न मिल्दैन त भन्दाखेरि काट्न मिल्दैन, बढी राख्न मिल्दैन, घटी राख्न मिल्दैन। जे नम्सले प्रोभाइड गरेको छ त्यही गर्नु पर्यो। त्यही भएर महँगो पर्ने हो के सबै चिजहरू। अब मेटेरियल भन्दा चाहिँ लेबर सङ्ख्या चाहिँ लेबर महँगो हुन थालिसक्यो अब अहिले। अब हेर त मेटेरियल र लेबर। अब मेटेरियल मैले लो क्वालिटीको मेटेरियल राखेको थिएँ, छेस्किनी फेस्किनीहरू, उसको नि 21,000 21,000 भइसक्यो दुइटै। मेटेरियल भन्दा लेबरको चाहिँ बढी हुने आइसक्यो है। त्यो भनेपछि त अब अहिले प्रत्येकमा त्यो भएर हेर्दै जाऊ कति छ हेर त। यो चाहिँ नि 1 नम्बरको चाहिँ फ्रेम बनाउने ठाउँमा हेर त मेटेरियल कस्ट चाहिँ 10,000 लागेको छ, लेबर कस्ट चाहिँ कति लाग्यो? 1900 लाग्यो होइन। यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति एउटामा भएको हुनाले फ्रेम मात्रै भएको हुनाले सजिलो भयो। अब अरू आइटममा तिमीहरूले हेऱ्यौ भने है, अब यो चाहिँ हेर्दा डोरेन पर क्युबिक मिटर हेरे यो पनि एउटै भइहाल्छ, ठिकै छ। अब अरूमा हेऱ्यो भने यहाँ हेऱ्यो भने हेर है, सिमेन्ट स्यान्ड वाटर पोइन्टिङमा हेऱ्यो भने सिमेन्ट मेटेरियल कस्ट 3940 मात्र लागेको छ, लेबर कस्ट लाग्छ 23,000 चाहिँ लेबर कस्ट लागेको छ। अब त भनेर हुन्छ र लेत्रो लेबर लाग्छ, मेटेरियलभन्दा धेरै लेबर लाउनु हो तपाईँले भन्न पाइयो र? पाइएन नि त। यहाँ मेटेरियल जम्मा 4,000 जस्तो छ, लेबर त 23,500 जस्तो छ। लाग्छ धेरै लागेपछि लाग्छ होइन। यहाँ हेऱ्यो भने मेटेरियल के छ? प्लास्टरमा हेर त मेटेरियल 12,000 को मेटेरियल लागेको छ, लेबर कस्ट चाहिँ 28-29,000 को लाग्छ। कोही आइटममा चाहिँ मेटेरियल धेरै थोरै लाग्छ, लेबर धेरै लाग्छ, कोहीमा चाहिँ मेटेरियल धेरै लाग्छ, लेबर थोरै लाग्छ। अब यसमा हेऱ्यो भने मेटेरियलमा 87,000 लाग्यो, लेबरमा 20,000 लाग्यो। अब यसमा मेटेरियलमा धेरै लाग्यो। अब आइटम हेरेर हुन्छ नि कस्तो किसिमको आइटम हो भन्ने कुरा बुझ्यो है। अब यस्तो लाग्छ भनेर आफूले अनुमान गर्ने होइन, लाग्छ भनेपछि लाग्छ, सक्यो है। अब रेट एनालाइसिस गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ बढी मूल्यमा रेट एनालाइसिस गरे हुनाले अब नियमै त्यही छ। अनि ठेकदारले चाहिँ के गर्छ त भन्दाखेरि भोलि चाहिँ कन्ट्र्याक्ट लिने बेलामा चाहिँ नि 30% 40% सम्म लो बिड गरेर चाहिँ लिन्छ, किनभने रेट एनालाइसिसै महँगो भइसकेपछि त त्यो मैले सस्ता बनाउन सक्छु भनेर उसले त्यो आर्डर गर्ने हो नि त होइन। अब कन्ट्र्याक्टरले त भोलि कन्ट्र्याक्ट लिने बेला त कम्पिटिसनमा लिन्छ, लिने बेला चाहिँ इस्टिमेटेड कस्टको त 30% 40% चाहिँ बिलोमा गएर चाहिँ उसले टेन्डर हालिरहेको हुन्छ है। भनेपछि त इस्टिमेटमा धेरै आए पनि भोलि बिड गर्ने बेलामा के हुन्छ त भन्दा त्यो अटोमेटिकल्ली जेनरली चाहिँ लो बिड गरेर चाहिँ घटिसकेको हुन्छ है। त्यही भएर खालि यो चिजलाई चाहिँ हामीले गर्ने तरिका जान्नु पर्यो, तौर तरिकाले गर्नु पर्यो। अब भने अनुसार गर्नु पर्यो, रेट चाहिँ जिल्ला दरले राख्नु पर्यो, सङ्ख्या चाहिँ नामअनुसार राख्नु पर्यो। त्योभन्दा बढी त जान पाइएन नि, हामीले घटाएर राख्न पाइएन होइन। यो त नियमै हो, त्यो नियममा गर्नु पर्यो। ल आजलाई यति नै भयो। लेट मी टेक योर एटेन्डेन्स फर्स्ट। 31 numbers are students are appearing here. Goodbye for today.